It is officially 2022. Congratulations, you made it. And now that you're on the other side, we'll talk a bit about some bad news and then some good ways to solve that problem. So, bad news first, there's a bunch of billionaires that are sending out a lot of warnings, warning about hyperinflation, warning about this being the roaring 20s, which famously took place right before the Great Depression, warning cash is trash and more economic damage is on the way. We'll cover the bad news a little bit more, what it means for you and I personally, and what you can do about it in this video here, because this video is all about, in this channel, and really my personal focus in my own life in 2022 is about focusing on what I can control, controlling what I can control. And you may be in different circumstances than me, but we're all in this together, happening at the same time as we're being hit with billionaires left and right saying prepare for a lot of bad stuff. But, I've got a 18-month-old daughter right now. And what this makes me think is there's a lot of bad things happening. It's easy to get sucked into it. And technically, it's never been easier to find bad things because we're on the internet. We're only one click away from finding all the bad things we want to find. What this really showed me is that there's things I can control. And my number one focus is total financial independence from the craziness of the world. And there's a lot of ways to do that on this channel. We talk about multiple sources of income. We talk about mining stocks. We talk about gold, silver, uranium. And we're going to be breaking what all of this means in today's video. So stick with us. We've got some interesting things going on in the billionaire world. We've got this headline, Jack Dorsey is worried about hyperinflation, but these experts say you shouldn't be scared of that. And this was all prompted off a tweet that Jack Dorsey made. He said hyperinflation is going to change everything. It's happening. And Elon, as usual, has been talking about all of his personal beliefs. He says that predicting macroeconomics is challenging to say the least, but he's expecting by spring or summer 2022, but no later than 2023, a recession, right? So we've got currency collapse from monetary debasement coupled with labor supply chain shortages. And all of these things end up pretty much doing one thing. And so as we look through all of this, we've got America's hunger pandemic is getting worse, a slew of factors, including poverty, inflation, and COVID. I've talked about this on this channel back when I got a lot of slack for dissing lockdowns and publicly stating I left the state of California due to them. We've talked about it a lot on this channel. The censorship used to be worse, so it was discussed a little less, but the ramifications of lockdowns meant more and more and more money was printed, which puts us into what Zero Hedge is calling the last great inflation. The last great inflation. This is the final pump, is what they're saying here, and how to survive the mega collapse. Now, we can't predict macroeconomics. We don't know if it's going to be a mega collapse in a deflationary scenario, or if it's going to be an invisible collapse through hyperinflation, like billionaire Jack Dorsey is suggesting. They're basically two separate things, but the same end result. And so the only thing we know for sure that Zero Hedge talks about here is we can be pretty certain that with inflation getting out of control, that gold, without question, is the tried and true form of wealth protection. Paper dollars, debt instruments, dollar-based interest and dividend payments, and the whole gamut of paper promises may not be here after the mega collapse, but gold will remain. And they go on to say something pretty interesting, is that gold specifically is an anti-investment. It's a safe haven for wealth. And it's especially prudent for times like now, when the end of the world, as we've known it, is coming right in front of our faces. And I want to talk a little bit about the sponsor in today's video. It is Gold Mining Inc. So Gold Mining Inc. was founded by Amir Anani. Amir is an individual we've had on the channel many times, and numerous of his business partners and some of his other endeavors, because he got a lot of them. He has Gold Royalty Corp. He has Uranium Energy Corp. We've had him on this channel to talk about uranium and UEC. He has Uranium Royalty Corp, and we've actually covered that company since they originally went public. So Uranium Energy Corp is actually from March 2020 coronavirus sell-off until November 2021, until uranium had its slight correction before its big uptrend here in 2022. They're up over 1,000%. Uranium Royalty Corp is up at least 200-300% since they originally IPO'd. So if this is gold's time to shine, we can expect gold mining stocks to similarly follow the statistical patterns that we talked about earlier from Gold Mining Inc. During the last times we've seen gold's spot price rise in a significant and meaningful way. So now that we know billionaires are saying the world is on fire, now that we know there's a pretty good possibility that either through an implosion of everything or an inflation of everything, that all roads will lead to gold, that mining stocks are a leverage against that. I want to talk about some of the other 5 important things to prepare for everything that is happening right now in the world. All right, number 1 is to focus on what you can control. This is my philosophy for 2022. We can go through endless news of bad things that are going to happen. The reality is we do not know exactly what's going to happen. And there's very few things we can control, but the entire system's designed to take away our ability to control our lives and get distracted. So there's 3 things we can control. We can control health, we can control happiness, and we can control wealth. So health and happiness, this channel is not exactly about that. Happiness fits perfectly into the overall objectives, but this isn't a wellness channel. So let's look at wealth. And I go, all right, the world may be on fire, but there are opportunities where I can multiply my wealth either through investments, either through speculation and mining stocks, either through online businesses, multiple streams of income. And when you bring your attention to that, you find out that even though there's a lot of bad things happening, you have an incredible opportunity to get ahead financially right now, maybe more so than ever. The second thing that I've done is leave the system, right? I brought my attention, thanks a lot to someone that's on this channel a lot, Rick Rule, that says, hey, you got to control what you can control. And then number 2 is you've got to leave the system with a percentage of your savings, right? And that's physical gold bullion, that's physical silver bullion, maybe that's Bitcoin or another crypto for you, maybe that's real estate for you. And once you set up a baseline of your savings, then step number 3 is to generate multiple sources of income. It's something we talk a lot about on this channel, is how would your life change if your income increased by 25% or 15% and it started coming through another new source of income. The more income sources we can build, the more we can do what Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Robert Kiyosaki talk about, which is divorce ourselves from trading our time directly for money, which opens up a higher ceiling on our income earning potential. Number 4 is speculation. This is the famous word coined by Doug Casey, the speculator. We talk a lot about ways to speculate on this channel. I would say that's really what this is primarily dedicated to. It is investing a portion of your money that you can afford to lose into a couple themes that you find most attractive. So for me, that's gold, that's silver, that's uranium. There's oil, there's green energy plays, there's cryptocurrencies, there's real estate. Everybody has their own places of focus. I have a channel devoted to mining stocks, and that's why the sponsor of this video is a gold mining stock, as we're talking about gold being one of the speculations. So shout out again to our sponsor, which is Gold Mining Inc., traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Number 5, last but not least, is become an entrepreneur and solve problems. Rick Rule said that his life changed when his wife told him that he needed to stop focusing on money and start focusing on solving problems and serving the clients that he had, to take his mind totally off of money and totally on the service, because you are paid in direct proportion for the value and service that you provide to your customers, to your clients, to the marketplace. And when we focus on what we can control, we realize that even though Jack Dorsey says hyperinflation is coming, Ray Dalio says cash is trash, you've got Elon making all these big shots and predictions too, even though we're coming to the end of the debt-based monetary system cycle, even though we have inflation at record levels, even though all these things are happening, you and I can still succeed. And so these are my 5 steps to 2022. Let me know if I missed any important steps or anyone else that you are adding. I've got focus on what I can control. That's my happiness, that's my health, and that's my wealth. Number 2 is to leave the system with a portion of my capital, a portion of my savings. That's gold, that's silver, that might be real estate, Bitcoin. Then number 3 is generating multiple sources of income so I can divorce myself, so you can divorce yourself from trading your time directly for money and thus raising your income earning ceiling. Number 4 is speculation. These are mining stocks that are leveraged plays. In this video, we talked about Gold Mining Inc., traded on the New York Stock Exchange. We have an exciting year we can look forward in gold mining stocks, in silver mining stocks, in uranium, in other commodities, in green energy. It's going to be a fun time. And then number 5 is become an entrepreneur, solving people's problems. This is where I'm trying to focus, not on all the economic drama of the world. I'm going to focus on becoming a better entrepreneur, solving people's problems more, hopefully providing more and more value in videos that you can take away and use into your life. So I want to thank you for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button, give me a comment down below, and let me know what you think of today's episode. Which of these 5 big ideas for 2022 spoke to you the most? And we want to give a final thank you to our sponsor today, which is Gold Mining Inc., traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Should be a fun year for gold, silver, uranium. Give me your top pick right there down below, and I'll see you next time.